Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mass Retirees Weekly Update. Today's Friday, April 26th. I'm Sean Duhamel. Thank you so much for joining with us and tuning in again this week. Now you might be able to notice behind me, it is dark. I'm filming this on Thursday night at 9:30. I have some really exciting breaking news to share with all of you. About 45 minutes ago, the Massachusetts House of Representatives unanimously passed the first increase in state retiree and employee basic life insurance benefits in 39 years. Yes, you heard me right. The House has approved an increase in the basic life insurance benefit that has been stuck at $5,000 since 1985. I was in middle school in 1985, so that was quite a long time ago. This is an issue that those of you who have been members of our association for a while, even if you've more recently joined, you know this is something that we have focused on and talked about a lot. This has been a long time coming. We are very excited to have this be part of the budget. It is going to be phased in a two-step process. I'll explain the details and the reasoning behind that in just a moment. But I want to start off just by thanking the bipartisan House leadership. Starting with Speaker Ron Mariano and Majority Leader Mike Moran, certainly House Ways and Means Chairman Aaron Michlewitz from here in Boston. If it were not for the support of Chairman Michlewitz and his team at the Ways and Means Committee and the members of the Ways and Means Committee, this victory tonight for public retirees would not have been possible. I also want to thank the lead sponsor of amendment number 845, State Representative John Lawn from the town of Watertown. Representative Lawn is also the House Chairman of the Committee on Healthcare Finance, a very important committee. He has been the lead sponsor on the basic life insurance benefit on our behalf for several years now and was the lead sponsor of the amendment. The amendment received bipartisan support in the House. It was co-sponsored by House Republican leader Brad Jones from North Reading. This is an issue that the House really rallied behind. And despite the fact that right now we're going through a period of fiscal constraint, you may be aware that over the past year or so, state finances unexpectedly began to tighten, and the revenue projections going into fiscal year 24 that we're in right now, we're not meeting the benchmark up until March, and we're not out of the woods yet. There's some hope and some glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel that perhaps the fiscal situation is improving, but this year's budget cycle is very tight. So the fact that we were able to get this amendment approved is a really big deal, particularly after 39 years of it remaining at $5,000, which just does not achieve the goal of the benefit, which is to provide end-of-life benefits for retirees, to pay for funerals and burials and the things that are necessary for for all of us, and $5,000 just doesn't cut it. Now, as I alluded to a moment ago, it's going to be phased in a two-step process, and the reason for that is what I was just explaining in terms of the fiscal concerns right now in terms of the budget. As of this July 1st, the benefit will go from $5,000 up to $7,500, and then on July 1st of 2025, so about 14 months from now, it will increase from $7,500 to $10,000, which is, again, long been our goal. Now, as much as we would have liked and hoped for going straight to $10,000 this year, it just isn't fiscally responsible or possible, I should say, at this time to be able to do that. But getting there over the next 14 months is a win, and it's something that we're going to continue now that we've been able to take the step forward. Hopefully, we're not going to go another 39 years for this benefit to be increased again. But again, I want to thank the members of the House who really focused on this issue, whether it's the House leadership from both parties, the legislators who have been working on this with us for a number of years, starting with Representative Lawn and right down the line. This is a really big win. I also want to say thank you to our legislative team here at Mass Retirees. Now, this has been a major focus of Frank Valeri, our president's, since he came on board with us back in 2013. Frank very quickly due to the death of his dad and his in-laws, his in-laws were both state retirees. Just very quickly realized on a personal level that $5,000, again, just isn't going to cut it in terms of paying for those end-of-life expenses. And ever since, Frank has really been focused on finding a way to move forward with this issue. The total cost, again, is $10 million to increase it to 10 grand, which doesn't seem like a lot of money, but it is a lot of money. And that has been the major hurdle moving forward. So going into 2024, collectively here at Mass Retirees, working with our legislative team of our chairman, Tom Bonarigo, and our legislative liaison, Nancy McGovern, we came up with a strategy in focusing on two primary legislative issues going into this budget cycle. One being the special commission on the COLA, which thankfully Governor Healy included in her budget back in January, and Chairman Michlewitz included it in the House Ways and Means budget, and it will be part of the budget that's now going to go over to the state Senate. In addition to the COLA Commission, we also made the decision to focus on increasing the state basic life insurance. And over the past 7 months or so, we have been diligently meeting with members of leadership, rank and file legislators, staff, working with the GIC behind the scenes in terms of the demographic information and all of the different cost analysis that goes into this. As a matter of fact, I want to thank the GIC. Going back to Dr. Roberta Herman and now with Executive Director Matt Vino, the GIC has been very supportive and very helpful in helping us understand the financial pieces of this issue and providing the support necessary, not only to us, but more importantly, to the members of the legislature to understand this issue and find a path forward. So collectively, we were able to get this done, and we are very pleased that both the COLA Commission and the Basic Life Insurance Measure are included in the budget. The State Senate will be taking up the budget just before Memorial Day toward the end of May. Earlier this week, we had a meeting with Senate Ways and Means Chairman Mike Rodricks from down in Westport, Mass, and his staff, laying out all of the details of both of these issues. So we're very hopeful that the Senate will see fit to include both measures in their budget when they take it up. And then, of course, it will go to conference committee and ultimately to Governor Healy. Probably sometime in early July, the governor will receive the budget. And we're confident that we'll have her support, not only on the COLA Commission, but we're very hopeful that she will also support the increase in the basic life insurance. So a couple of more just reminders. This coming Friday, May 3rd, we will be holding our annual meeting our annual area meeting. It's getting late. It's about 9:45, I think, at this point. It's been a long week, but we'll be up on the North Shore in Peabody for our Peabody area meeting. That takes place at 11 a.m. on Friday, May 3rd. It is at the Boston Marriott Peabody, right on Centennial Drive in Peabody. It's our traditional meeting location on the North Shore. If you're in and around the North Shore area next Friday, please come on by and say hello. Then the following Friday, which I do not have the date in front of me, so I'm not going to say it and confuse everybody, but 2 weeks from today, we will be here in Boston, in Dorchester, which is my adopted hometown. I've lived down in Dorchester for about 10 years, about a mile from Florian Hall where our meeting takes place. It also starts at 11 a.m. So if you're in and around the Dorchester, South Boston, Quincy, Weymouth, Braintree, Milton area, come on by, say hello, or even if you're coming over from West Roxbury or Roslindale, Dedham, the more the merrier. Our area meetings are one of my favorite parts of this job, in addition to being able to deliver good news to all of you like today, and it doesn't happen nearly as often as we would like, so it puts a smile on my face when we're able to do this, but our job, our work is never done. On these two issues, we still have a lot of work to do, and even once the COLA Commission is established, that's only the beginning. We need to find a way forward on improving COLA benefits and on a whole host of other issues, but thankfully we have the support out there that ensuring that public retirees are not forgotten and that you have a voice and that you have a seat at the table, and we're going to keep moving forward. The second thing I want to remind everybody of is that we are now in the final days of the annual open enrollment period for the Group Insurance Commission. So if you are insured through the GIC, and if you have an interest in changing your health insurance benefits or enrolling in the dental plan, now is your time to do it. However, if you're happy with your current coverage, if you don't want to make any changes, there's nothing you need to do. Simply sit tight. Everything will remain the same. If for some reason your insurance cards are being changed, for instance, those of you who are insured under the Unicare plan or plans, you know by now, I hope, that Unicare is changing its name as of July 1st to WellPoint. It's only a name change. Nothing else is changing, other than the fact that a new insurance card will be mailed to you sometime during the month of June. So you'll have all this information prior to the start of the new fiscal year on July 1st. And finally, this coming week, we will be submitting our association's written testimony to Congress on the hearing that took place a week ago on the Social Security windfall elimination provision and the government pension offset. We are not only going to detail the impact that these two unfair laws have on our members, but we're also going to focus on some solutions. And if full repeal is not in the cards in 2024, we believe that at the very least, some type of a reform of both WEP and GPO is absolutely essential. It's been 41 years now since these laws were put in effect back in 1983, and we are well beyond the time when something should have changed and it must change. And while there is disagreement in Washington amongst lawmakers as well as policy experts on exactly what to do about WEP or GPO, whether it's full repeal versus some type of a reform, the one thing that is pretty much universally agreed upon on a bipartisan basis is the fact that these two laws are unfair and that something should be changed. So relief needs to come to retirees, and that's what we're going to be focusing on in our testimony that we're submitting next week. Now look to next Friday's weekly update for the full text of our testimony. We want to make sure that all of you have access to it and you know the positions that we're putting out on your behalf. It's important that we do that. So look to next Friday's update for a full report on those issues. But for now, I'm going to sign off for tonight. It's getting late. I hope one more point on life insurance. For those of you who are local retirees, you might be listening to this message or read today's email and say, well, what about me? This only impacts state retirees and state employees. While that is true, we believe that the state taking action to increase these benefits will serve as a needed catalyst at the local level for municipal governments to also increase life insurance benefits for local retirees, including retired teachers. All municipal retirees and retired teachers, regardless of where you receive your health insurance from, all of your life insurance benefits come from the city, town, school district, authority that you retired from. And those benefits are established by those local entities. So we assume, and we're going to work toward this, and we will work with all of our local members, of course, but once the state passes this increase, and hopefully it does go through within the budget and it takes effect on July 1st, we believe that a number of municipalities throughout the remainder of the year will begin to take action to increase local benefits as well. So that's why this is so important. The benefit is set at the state level by law, by the legislature. It's right in the statute. And at the local level, it is up to each city or town or local legislative body to make that decision locally. So that's why there's a little bit of a difference. But again, we think that this is going to be an important catalyst for change across the board. So with that, I hope you all have a good night or good morning, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Bye-bye, everybody.